What's up with y'all, family? I'm gonna come at y'all with a different angle today. But authenticity, remember y'all, is the highest form of vibration. You're not holding shit back for nobody. You know, family? So as I give y'all this video, I come over here with a proper composure and a strong enough presence to remind you that you have this power as well, family, to be your fucking self. You know, family? This world, y'all, they envy you, you know, because they want dominion over you. You know, you gotta realize, y'all, that you're not worthless. You know, the world has taught you to be worthless because once you harm yourself, y'all, you afflict that self upon yourself. You know, family? There's different levels to you, but you gotta know which one that you really want to activate. You know, family? So as I give y'all this video, what we are gonna talk about today, y'all, is, you know, weather. Let's talk about weather, y'all. I haven't talked about weather in a video in a long time, you know. So the weather, y'all, you know, currently where I'm at, y'all, it's cloudy, you know. I can pull that sun on, y'all, if I choose to. If I choose to go in a higher vibrational, you know, energetic hertz. But right now, y'all, I'm playing for keeps, y'all. I'm at peace where I'm at right now, y'all. And I know that the sun is fucking them up. So all I gotta do is sit back and relax because little do you know, family, you have a sun inside of your solar plexus. So do I, and it resides right here, just below your gut. You know, family? That's why it is important to eat clean or to not eat the fuck at all, family, because that's your second stomach, y'all. You know, your stomach, y'all, it helps everything. It helps your body function. It helps you have more energy, y'all. You're not so fucking clogged up in the brain because once you cloud up this, y'all, you cloud your judgment up, you know, family? But you gotta know this, you know, a lot of people, y'all, they don't want you to be fasting. They don't want you to eat once a day, y'all. There's a reason why they made up that fucking 3 to 4 day times a day for your family, because they want you to be trained. They want you to feel like you're fucking, you know, de-bloated all the time, y'all. That's why people don't have a fucking, you know, ain't nobody ever strong, y'all. Ain't nobody got the abs they want either, because they're too fucking lazy. You know, they don't want to put no work in. And that's a bad rep on you, family, because every man should have some mystic to them, y'all. You know, if you are someone who likes women, y'all, or, you know, you want to be an attractive individual, y'all, you got to make sure you are attractive in your eyes first, because what you see, you know, is what starts to happen, y'all. So how you look at yourself and what you perceive yourself as, family, if you look good or bad, you will know. And that's what's gonna happen around you, family, because we are all connected. But I'm gonna drop some high esoteric history on y'all right now, family. So, you know, all these towers, all these 5G, you know, these towers that they call radiation towers, you know, for your cell phone device, those are really towers, y'all, that keep the world vibrating low. And they shoot out ice crystals or particles that ionize within the surface or the atmosphere of this earth. And that's why, you know, people, they can't realize, oh, why the fuck is it hot as fuck one day, then the next day it's cold, or in the morning when they wake up it's freezing tundra out here, you know? That's because, family, you really gotta see the way this world really runs, y'all. Come on now, y'all. It's impossible for it to be hot as fuck and then it's snowing the next day without somebody, you know, being involved. Whether it's technology, advanced, or it's just something that was man-made. It's a constant, you know, family? So as I give y'all this drop, because the ancestors who speak through me, that reside from within me, told me to push it out, because it's cosmic. That's exactly why the weather and you know, the way it should be, y'all. They showed y'all that shit in Avatar, y'all. Remember, y'all, when it was nothing but, you know, tropical weather everywhere, y'all. You know, that's why the trees and everything grew so big and everything was so, you know, you want to say divine. But pay attention, once they cut that tree down and once everybody lost, you know, that confidence and that will that frequency attuned them at, because they were vibrating higher like us. Once they cut that tree down, y'all, that's when the cold weather started to arrive on that planet. That signifies what the fuck is happening right here, y'all. But I give y'all this because when you are aware, y'all, you look at shit differently. But not only that, remember this, family, okay? I want y'all to remember this. So, the people who can take in the sun, family, whether you can or whether you can't, everybody has the ability to, because everybody has a piece of creation within them, y'all. If you weren't allowed to be on this planet, y'all, you simply wouldn't even be here, because that's, you know, a part of cosmic law. So if you are here, y'all, you can take in anything as long as you know, do what's right, y'all. Everybody knows what's right, but it's like going into hell to really, you know, live that life, y'all, because it's not easy for most people. A lot of people, y'all, don't want to be in shape, y'all, because they crave bullshit. You know, a lot of people are stuck on women. A lot of women are stuck on men. You know, this phase, it never ends. It's a never-ending cycle, y'all, and that's exactly what we are living in hell. Like it or not, y'all, this is hell, y'all. You know, the shit that they're telling y'all where you gonna die and go to hell, there ain't no place worse than this. That's exactly why the Most High has sent us, or a speck of Him within us, to come down here and change the planet, because He realizes that this world is nothing but facades, fantasies, and straight, you know, entertainment to your consciousness, y'all. You should never be entertained out here, y'all. You shouldn't really, you know, being high or feeling drunk, y'all, that's a, you know, distraction. You're distracting yourself from becoming better, y'all. You know why? Because, y'all, as a man, y'all, we should never be comfortable, y'all. You know, there's no time to be comfortable, especially in the society we are living in, where the worst against you. You know, you're feeding up a poison. You know, they don't even want you in that sun because it charges you, family. So, think about it. And this part two, family, of the weather, and I was telling you about why they envy us so much, y'all, because you're somebody that's supernova, y'all. You know, a lot of people are gonna laugh or overlook this knowledge, but I don't give a fuck, y'all. You know, you should be happy for who you are, because once you know who you are, nobody can take that away from you, y'all. Despite whatever they do or however they feel about you, you know, they envy you, y'all, because they're the opposite, you know, of what you are doing. You know, what you are doing, y'all, they go against that, because they can't live like you, y'all. You know, you're an organic being. These motherfuckers are not organic at all, y'all. They're made to fit in, to deceive you, y'all. But, you know, this is powerful, y'all, because once you realize that not only the shit that's around you is against you, but the weather is made to destroy you, y'all. You know, when it's cold outside, y'all, your ears, you know, they hurt, or you can't take being outside in the cold, y'all, because it fucks you up, right? You gotta question yourself, y'all. Why would God put us on a plane if you believe, like, you know, in a story like that, right? Why would God put us on a plane for us to freeze our asses off and to be killed in that type of way? It's impossible, y'all. It's just motherfuckers out here don't have the ability to think on their own, because they like being taught by somebody else, y'all. They don't have a free mind because they're too fucking lazy to even think, y'all. If they don't want to work out, what makes you think they want to think about what they want to do? You know, this shit is powerful, y'all. The history and the shit that I'm telling y'all is powerful because you don't know it, and they don't want to tell you this because it heats you up, y'all. And the more angry you become, the more your sun feels that way, and it projects around you. You know, family. But I'm not gonna make you feel too long. I just want you to realize that's exactly why you can be, you know, someone who goes outside. It's hot as fuck. The next morning it's 30 degrees outside, y'all. You gotta wear a couple jackets because remember, y'all, they're playing in your face without you knowing. You know, they're turning on their towers, y'all, and emitting a low frequency and infusing that with crystalline particles, y'all, that pretty much dissolves within the sky, y'all, and creates this false sense of weather that makes you feel like it's killing you. Because one, it's not natural, and two, you need light, y'all. You are heat beings, y'all. So light is what strengthens you. When it's the opposite of that, y'all, it's slowly killing you. You know, that's exactly why I'm telling y'all this, y'all. Because once you know that This world is literally made to kill you, y'all. Not now, but eventually. You start living differently. You start taking yourself seriously. You start realizing that this world is a dark fucking place, y'all. This is hell. You know, the only way to get in heaven is to access higher realms within you, y'all. You are the key to heaven, y'all. There's no heaven outside of you. You know, if you find heaven, everybody else can't unless they want to go there. But that's a place that you find within yourself, y'all. Because like God said, the kingdom of God is and will reside always within you, you know? But this shit is powerful, y'all, because, you know, now that you know that everything around you is not only man-made weather, you look at life differently, y'all. I'm pretty sure a lot of people knew this, y'all, but you may ask, how do you fight against this tactic? Or what are things you can do to prevent this? Unfortunately, y'all, there's nothing we can do because we don't control nothing that's outside, y'all. You control your reality, but you can't control the way society functions because it takes for the planet to get on a higher vibrational frequency, y'all. She's gonna take care of that regardless, y'all. You don't gotta worry about nothing else. That's why you see earthquakes, floods, and fires happening because this world is tired, just like you. Because you are literally the world in itself. And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about nature, yo. She's tired of this shit, yo. You know, she's alive just like you. Why you think every time you go out and ground, y'all, you feel better or you feel that negativity releasing? Because, yo, everything around you is alive and it's you in another form. Anything that can take sunlight is another part of you. That's why if you open your third eye, you can control it, you know? Because all you gotta do is imagine yourself leaving through the third eye, infusing that crystal that you have with anything that you want to, you know, become. So, for example, say you want to move something with your mind, or you want to do things, you know, that may seem, you know, non-physical. Well, it's possible when you live on a spiritual aspect because you're not living physically anymore. But for the people living spiritually, y'all, who want to do things like yoga and shit, you gotta have high energy. One, you gotta be living at your highest. You will know that when you start feeling the energy, you know, and I won't need to tell you because your higher self is in you. He'll tell you for yourself. But when you get there, you'll know that your third eye is too fucking strong that you might have to cover it up. But you have the ability to use that eye, yo, to see through things, you know. And I'm not telling y'all this to go out and do fuck shit and to go destroy people, no. Because that shit's gonna come back on your ass and hit you. I'm telling you this for your protection, to be aware and to know that you're not somebody that don't have authority, yo. You have authority. It might be silent, but you know, what's silent is more deadlier, y'all. You know? So remember this. For the people who are trying to do things like that, well, you gotta imagine because you know that's where we get our power from, our imagination, y'all. That's why they took that away from you as a kid and made you become someone who's gonna suffer and love depression and shit like that. But when you have an imagination, y'all, you will know what I'm talking about and you will feel your third eye open or tapped in. And with this eye, you have the ability to not only leave your body, but your energy can leave it. So you're not leaving it through your soul. No, so don't imagine your soul leaving your body. Imagine the energy leaving through your eyes, through your, you know, your crystalline particles. And when it leaves out, y'all, that's when you imagine that energy traveling into anything you want to move or anything you're trying to control. Whether it's people, whether it's objects, whether it's something that you are trying to get, y'all. You know, and that's how you move it, y'all, because all you do is imagine that energy is entering another object. And since that's happening and you're imagining it, it begins to turn into reality. And that's when you are energetically wise living through that object, y'all, because we are all controlled through energy, y'all. It's just that if you have low energy, y'all, this shit doesn't seem real to you because you haven't been invited into that kingdom of heaven. So you don't know what the fuck's going on. But as I give you this is how powerful life is, family. And that's why a lot of people don't know how to get anything in life, yo. And for anybody who is trying to try this, yo, it may simply not work because it takes a long time to find yourself. You gotta have energy, you gotta have humbleness, you gotta be somebody who is detached, somebody that's gonna let everything go if they have to know that they're all they need, you know, family? But this was a powerful video. Remember, we can't do anything against weather and the shit that was for us. But what you can do is strengthen your energy, y'all. Build up a high presence and eat light so you can become light when you go around in this world. And that's simply the most powerful thing you can do, y'all, because they want you low. They want to siphon you, but they can't. If their aura's too strong for them to come in, you would have to invite the fucking devil in, y'all. That's how powerful you are. But this was a video, family. The weather is deep and how it runs, but what's deeper is knowing that you can't be controlled, y'all, energetically wise or reality wise, because this is your reality, y'all. You came down here to make it whatever it is you want to live in. So if you live on a high frequency, y'all, it's gonna show in your reality. But if you live on a low frequency, y'all, it will also show. Despite how you live, y'all, you can't control nothing outside of y'all because you don't run it. Know this is your world, though, and it's coming back to you because you are simply bringing it back with the energy you have, y'all. The energy you have is ancient because this is the energy that hasn't been here since these ancient times, y'all. But since we are ancient beings, we're the only ones who can bring that static back and create that fucking, pure light of endless electricity. That's why I give y'all this video, y'all, to remind you that this is what you must do. Everybody's out here chasing fame, money, these dirty ass bitches. But do you have any identity? Do you want to live 1,000 years? You ain't gonna live to damn near 20 plus if all you do is chase shit outside of yourself, y'all. And that's why people are so fucked up, because they listen to everybody else, y'all. Y'all followers, y'all. You need to get out that loophole, y'all, and become the leader. Become the sun. You are the sun. People want to talk about, say you want to merge with Ra. Ra is the sun. He's a deity in the sky. He gives us light. He gives light to all of creation. That's why they worship him as a god of all creation, right? But to fuse with Ra, y'all, is to know that you got to be out here with him, taking in that light and having a conversation with him through energy. He doesn't get what you are saying, y'all. He might be able to understand it, but you're not going to hear nothing back. But you can and you will intuitionally wise with the energy because you are invited in it just by having so much energy. Because what happens, y'all, you can take the sun and you enjoy being outside. The people who are not invited, y'all, are the ones that can't take it. That's why they're never outside. This was a good video, family. I'm only here to remind you that life is what you make it, y'all. Whether you live good or bad. I'm not telling y'all to be evil. And I'm not telling y'all to be someone that's a noble hero. You make that decision. But whatever you do, y'all, always know that there's an exchange in energy. It's called the law of exchanging energy, y'all. So that karma effect is real. That's why I tell y'all to be humble. And don't be trying to put spells or hexes on people that you don't know, because it's gonna bite your ass in the fucking flesh, But this was a video, family. Stay up, keep your energy high, and most importantly, live presently, y'all, because they want to control you through your thoughts and through your mind. But they can't, y'all. You're right here. That's why I tell y'all, stay sober, family. Become sober, y'all. But this was a video, family. I'll see y'all.